What's going on YouTube, and welcome to Digital Perspective. I'm Khaled, and in today's video, as you can see here on the screen, we're going to be creating this really lovely travel style UI website front page, or the hero section. And yeah, if you're ready, please make sure that you subscribe and turn that notification bell on. And without further ado, I guess let's just get started. What's going on everyone, and welcome to Digital Perspective. So today we're going to be going into designing a UI front page or hero image for a resort type page. And yeah, so let's just go over to the screen and just get started. So you can see here I've got a blank screen. Obviously the canvas size is 1920 by 1080p, and all we're really going to do is perhaps we're going to really just start to lay out some of the wireframing for what I want to do today. So I'm going to put that in there. This is going to be where my main hero image is going to sit. I'm going to get text. I'm going to call this something like cabin woods. Okay, nothing special, just a logo, a text format logo. I'm going to make it to white. Probably going to stretch it. Oh, okay. Zoom in there a little bit, put it there, and just to make things a little bit exciting, I'm just going to take the last section of the word and maybe make it light, right? So we've got like a really simple kind of text version logo. So what else do we need? Perhaps we will have, so obviously we've got some navigations we're going to put in there. So we're just going to put in their home. These are going to be about 16 pixels wide. I'm going to get another one to maybe we'll call this gallery. Equal distance perhaps. We'll call this videos. And then event. And then maybe the last thing we'll call it to contact, right? So if I click on the artboard and I turn my layout on, obviously you can see the layout recommends that I try and push it in there. But what I'm going to do is I want to reduce my gutter to about 110, and I'm going to reduce my left and right spaces to about 60. Let's see. Yeah, let's do 60, and then we equal distance it. So it's suggesting that I do 116, which I don't really want. I'm going to do 62. Perfect. Right now with 62 selected, I'm going to select my menu, push it to the right, and then just push my logo to the left a little bit. Once we've got that, obviously we want to have some big text. Probably stretch it about almost just halfway, and we'll call this living in the cabin. We're going to make this huge, so about 130. We're also going to change the font to something like a Playfair display. I want it to be, oh, undo that. We'll change it to Playfair display because I quite like that as a serif font. I'm going to reduce the line height a little bit. And I also want to have the word "the" next to it because I don't want it to be an orphan. Actually, let me go back. I'm just going to increase the size actually. There we go. And then just increase the kerning, or the line height I should say. Once that's done, I'm going to push it down here. And then I'm just going to grab the same logo text. I'm going to put it there, and this could be like our subheader. So we can say this living in the cabin. Why not? Experience a new way. Just leave that there, and we're going to make this probably medium. Actually, let's go for light. Quite like that. Fine. Then the letters. I'm going to increase the kerning a little bit to about 50. And then what we want to do is we want to have a button here. One second, let me push that here. I'm just going to say living, no, cabin living. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this is going to be the second half, or we're going to make basically two banners, right? Or two hero images. And the first one's about cabin living, and then the second one, don't need that, and then the second one could be, I don't know, beach, right? So we'll find two separate images, one for cabin and one for beach. Now I don't want these to be that big, so I'm going to make them 18. Make that 18. I'm just going to turn off my layout so I can see it a little bit better, so I can decide whether things are, so things aren't looking like they're aligning better. I think we can, yeah, maybe size it down a little bit, reduce the kerning, but at the same time I want to bring this and this in a little bit. I don't want it to be sitting outside too close to the edge. Right, so like I said, this will be the first one. Because this is the one that's selected, I'm going to make that into a bold, and then the second one is when we select that, we're going to turn that one into a bold, and then we'll have the line cross over into that. Obviously we will also want to have, if I go here, I'm going to say chevron, which is basically we want to have our left and we want to have our right. Now the icons are very small. There you go. It's going to sit onto that side. Maybe size it down a little bit. Put it there. Now, because I want the other one to be exactly the same size, I'm just going to turn it into white for now. I'm just going to click and hold on the option key, and then I'm going to flip it so that it's exactly the same size, but it's looking the other way. And we're just going to push that to the right. I'm going to select both of them. I'm just going to group them so that I know, and then I'm going to center align them. Perfect. I might put some gradients on it in a second, but for now I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it like that. So then what I'm probably going to do is, in fact, I'm going to go and find me an image, so bear with me. Unsplash, and then we want a cabin image, right? So I quite like this, I quite like that, quite like that. Let's go for this one, because obviously the second one we're going to do is going to be more of a beach theme. So I want the images to kind of contrast heavily, but obviously it makes legibility really difficult. So do you know what? We'll keep it, but what we will do is we'll apply some sort of a filter on top of it. So I want to extend that. I'm also going to flip it, so I want the dark side to be on the right, the left hand side. Put that there. Perfect. So you can see it's there, and obviously it's good that we have the dark on that side, but what we need to do is we need to apply some sort of gradient. So I'm going to draw a rectangle out, and I'm going to make that into a lunar gradient. I'm going to have one half of it go to the right and one half of it go to the left, like so. We'll make the left black, I'm going to make the right black, but I'm going to turn the opacity down to 0. And then I'm going to push it back, so holding command on the back bracket, or parentheses I should say, sorry. Just going to keep moving it back until it's just before the image. And I'm going to stretch it out a little bit there. Now one thing you can also do, which I sometimes like to do, is if I don't like the black, what I like to do is sometimes click on it and then just select the darkest color on the picture, which is, you can see, is this slight dark blue. I'm going to add that to the color palette. So it just gives it that slight muted dark color rather than it just being black, right? Now obviously we've got the same problem here with the menus. You still can't see the menu, so we can apply the same treatment but the opposite direction. So I'm going to duplicate and drag the gradient, and I'm going to size it down. I'm going to put it on top of there, and I'm going to drag it there, So you can see now that the text is more legible, but we obviously have to go back to the gradient and fix it to make sure that it's exactly straight, otherwise you'll see the line at the bottom. Now once I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the background and make the background the same dark color here. I'm just going to select and drag this out, and then what we're doing now is we're working on our beach image. So we say beach house. Let's see what we can get. Let me just bring the images in here a little bit more. Again, that's not a bad image. I'm just always thinking about placement for text, so I could easily place the text on this side. Let's see what else we have. Again, not a bad image, but it doesn't show much of a house really. This is a good image. I think I quite like that one, so I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to download that. Hopefully, let's try that again. Download that, perfect. And then we just want to do the same thing. I'm just going to drag this to the side and drag on top of that, and then you have it. So then we don't need our browser anymore. If I press enter on the image, flip the image, then we have it, right? So again, we can do the same thing. We can select the color and select the darkest. I mean, technically we could even select the light color, to be fair, because it's more of a beach theme, right? So let's see how that would look with this gray color. Doesn't look too bad, but let's see how it looks throughout the whole thing. And try that there. Turn opacity to 0. You know what? It's not bad. I like that. So what we also need to do is we need to drag this here so that this then becomes the selected one. So then that would be bold. This would be light. And there you go. Right? And obviously we need to change the text. Enjoy a stay at the beach. And just extend that a little bit so that it reaches there, right? There we have it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to quickly prototype them, and we're just basically going to prototype the transition from one cabin to the beach house. So what we want to do is we're going to go to the prototype tab, and if someone clicks on, so obviously since we grouped this, it's doing that. So go back to design, right click it, and I'm ungroup on both artboards so that you can just about select it on its own, right? Now what you might find is you might find it a bit impossible to click on just that one alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an invisible button here, right? You won't see the button, but it will be there. So it just makes it easier to select rather than having someone almost magically try to find the actual shape. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to click both of them, copy them, go here, paste it, perfect. Turn the opacity to 0, and again these act as hidden buttons or placements, right? So that you won't actually see them, but you can actually select them. So let's go back into our prototype, and then what we want to do is if someone clicks on this one, it goes to the next artboard. We want it to auto animate to the next one. We want it to perhaps snap. I want it to take about 1 second to do this, and that's it. If I click on the back button, it goes back to this one. Now obviously it remembers the last settings that we had here, so we're not going to need to change much. If I click on this side, I want it to also go here, because obviously we've only got 2, but if we had more it would work, right? And that's it. So if I click play now, get that into full screen, and you can obviously see the cabin and everything designed there, perfectly nice. If I click on play, and it goes into there and it slides in. And you can obviously see also the button at the bottom. This here will also kind of go back to, the line slides itself onto there. Right, you see that? Perfect. Here we go. Now obviously we know that Adobe XD now takes video, so what we can actually do is we can have a video in the background of this to make it a little bit more exciting. Now Unfortunately, I don't have a video to show you on this, but you can actually have any video playing in the background and that would have the same kind of effect. But yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you did, please make sure to hit a like and comment on the video down below. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. We do have some daily videos for you guys, and in case you missed the last one, it'll be up there. And then for some other videos, you can find some more down there. And my name is Khalid, and until the next time, I'll see you then. Peace.